This is the house where Claudinia Blanchard was found stabbed to death. It set off a roller coaster story.
What would drive Gypsy to want to plan the murder of her own mother?
Local teenage hero Gypsy Rose Blanchard could be the most unlikely murder suspect ever. A supposed paraplegic suffering from muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, leukemia, and confined to a wheelchair is now under arrest. Both she and her boyfriend Nick charged with killing her mother.
People were saying, well, maybe she was tricked into doing this. She met somebody online, he wanted to take her away, and the mother wouldn't let her. They fought, somehow the mother was killed. It was still the prevailing thought that she was really innocent.
The princess outfit's now replaced with an orange jumpsuit.
My vision was still of this fragile little girl, and that was shattered.
It was hard to wrap your brain around, how can this young, sick girl who can't walk be involved in her mother's death? So it was shocking beyond shocking.
Things are not always as they appear.
The people of Springfield might think they are witnessing a miracle when astonishingly,
State of Wisconsin versus Gypsy Blanchard.
check out Gypsy's first appearance in court. Yes, that's her walking. No wheelchair, no signs of distress, not even a limp.
Gypsy crying through the proceedings and shocking many of those who knew her because she was walking and not using a wheelchair.
I still did not want to believe that she could walk when they showed her on the news. In fact, I rewound it and played it multiple times because that's not who we knew.
Just when you thought the Dee Dee Blanchard murder case could not get any stranger, we have covered stories where you find out that someone you thought was so sweet and innocent, and turns out there's a different side. But it was like a prize fight, where it's just one hit after the other.
And I was happy she was walking. Big red flags, I felt so stupid. If she can walk, what else have we been lied to about?
Later in this hour, we will show you the astounding extent of those lies. But one thing that is real, her voice.
That voice is something you don't forget.
2103 West Volunteer Way, Springfield, Missouri.
There were comparisons to cartoon characters, saying that she was forcefully talking like a baby. It sounded a little like maybe she had had some helium.
Take a listen as Gypsy calls her father from jail.
Daddy, I understand that we haven't had a chance to get close in a long time, probably my whole life.
I have a lot of questions, obviously. You know, I'm confused.
The stuff they say in the news is horrible and not true. You know that I love my mama, and you know that I would never let her hurt. Just know that I'm innocent and know that I'm still your little girl.
We are here in Missouri. We're driving to visit Gypsy Rose in prison. The big question, is she a murderer or is she a victim?
When she walks into the meeting room, I'm immediately struck by her radically changed appearance. She has long, curly hair, makeup, and her once frail frame has filled out. She tells me about the genesis of that relationship with Nick Godejohn, meeting him online and quickly falling in love, even hatching an ill-fated plan to introduce him to overprotective Dee Dee at a screening of Cinderella.
How did it go?
Awful. Oh my God. She got jealous because I was spending a little too much attention on him, and she had ordered me to stay away from him. And needless to say, that was a very long argument that lasted a couple weeks.
An argument that lasted a couple of weeks. What does that look like?
Yelling, throwing things, calling me names, bitch, slut, whore.
Did you hate your mother at that point?
I didn't hate her.
You wanted her dead.
Yes, but it was not because I hated her. It was because I wanted to escape her.
Nick traveled to Springfield from Wisconsin. That's him checking into a local Days Inn motel where he waited for Gypsy to give word Dee Dee is asleep.
The gonna go down tonight. Just the gloves and knife?
Duct tape, too, to muffle her.
I'll pre-cut it.
How are you feeling?
Honestly, terrified. But then I had taken some medication that was not prescribed to me to calm me down.
Gypsy says she hands the items to Nick and hides in the bathroom while he goes into the bedroom, matching Nick's story to police.
Okay, I'll admit it. I did actually stab her. I will admit it.
So when you're stabbing Dee, where is she at?
She's on her stomach.
Did she scream or holler or?
Yeah, she did.
What was she saying?
First she said help.
And then what did she say?
And then she called up for Gypsy, but Gypsy didn't do anything.
I heard her scream once, and there was more screaming, but not like the kind in a horror film, just like a startled scream. And she called out to my name about 3 or 4 times. And at that point, I wanted to go help her so bad, but I was so afraid to get up. It's like my body wouldn't move, and then everything just went quiet.
Just moments later, incredibly, the couple says they have sex on Gypsy's bed, Dee Dee's body in the room next door, before taking a cab back to Nick's motel, and there they are, caught on surveillance cameras.
It's disconcerting to see how quickly they were able to turn off any kind of impact from the murder. It seemed there was no effect on them.
Were you afraid of getting caught?
That never crossed my mind. I honestly didn't think we were gonna get caught.
Oh, but they did. Captured time and again on video cameras, every step documented in receipts and eyewitnesses.
This is like a crime I call Hansel and Gretel, where you drop the clues along the way as you go. I mean, they couldn't have laid it out better for the police.
Look at them at the Greyhound bus counter. And here, hopping into Janice Buttram's taxi cab.
She was in a very dark black hoodie, but she had a very odd looking wig on. It was an old looking Cher wig, which I found very normal. The girl looked 12, sounded 5, and had a 40-year-old attitude, because she was not afraid to tell me off. I just knew there was something wrong.
It might seem like an open and shut case,